Hey guys, and welcome to another First Impressions video, the video series in which we take a look at a brand new game that's just come out, and I give you my first thoughts and impressions on it. This is Goat's Tail, and I'm underwhelmed, unimpressed, and rather agitated with this game. I like the idea and the premise of it, however the execution is less to be desired. What we'll do is we'll go through the options. I'll explain a few of the issues and trouble that I've had already, and then we'll jump into the gameplay. Here are the options, and the first problem I have with this is the fact that it has very limited controller support, and if you actually have your controller plugged into the game, it breaks it. It means that your keyboard no longer does the things that it should do, and you can't play and do the things that you need to do with the controller. Either it kind of has a conflict within itself, so it just doesn't work. Also, noob mode. Got to admit, I'm not a fan of the name of that mode because it implies that if you have accessibility options or hindrances, or if you're just not very good at the game, to be insulted by the game could be seen as quite offensive and not taken as the way that it should be. Furthermore, noob mode doesn't actually do anything anyway. All it does is give you a little bar above the top of your character to show you how much power you're putting into your jump. There are no graphics options at all. It's just as it comes, although to be fair, it is a 8-bit style game, so there's not really much to render or anything. It's 82 megabytes, or at least I think that's what it was when I downloaded it. And as a result, it doesn't need a lot. However, the controller not working with the keyboard is a problem because I feel that this game would be a lot easier if I could use my controller. Trying to do it with the keyboard is a nightmare, and there are no keybinds. That being said, let's go into the game and show you what it's all about. Okay, so you can choose your stage, and then you can continue on from where you went with that stage. You've got numerous different stages to go through. I'm assuming varying in difficulty. The first one is obviously showing you how to do it. It's just a tutorial, if you like. The problem I've got is the keybinds make no sense. Backspace is to go back and space is to accept, instead of just having enter as accept and okay like everybody else in the universe has. And when you select your stage, the problem is that the way to move, you can only move by jumping. And jumping's not easy. I don't mean that it's just a little bit difficult. I mean, it's not enjoyable. You have to tap your space key to jump, and the arrow in which you want to go in order to change the direction of your goat, which in of itself is annoying. And then once you've done that, you've got to hold your spacebar down to get your power up in order to jump. However, you can't jump in air. So you have to hold the arrow down and then hold the space down in order to jump as far as needed. And the idea is you've got to get all of the chests, right? That's the goal. That's what you've got to do. And it's not very fun. It's not very enjoyable. It feels awkward on your keys. It's a mess. Like, I get what they're trying to do, right? I do. But with it being so poorly conceived or poorly executed with the controller scheme, and the fact that your controller doesn't work, like, I very much feel like I would be enjoying this more on a controller. It's still kind of dumb for the concept of just jumping but only being able to jump in a certain way, and that's your entire movement, that's what it's tied to. It can make it feel like you're not making any progress. There's no progress to make, and it can be frustrating in a bad way, right? The fact that you got to do it in the right way, otherwise you don't move at all, you just jump up and down, and then it's timed, and I don't know, like, it feels like they've wanted to make a difficult game, But in trying to make a difficult game, they've forgotten the important form factor of a game, and that's to make it fun. I don't find this fun. I found this incredibly frustrating. I was almost going to do another review of it doesn't work because I couldn't get it to work with the controller plugged in. It would come onto this stage and then space wouldn't work, the arrows wouldn't work, and yet the controller wouldn't work either. The only thing that I could do would be to look up, which I can't work out how I did on this. I was able to look at the different screen to see the stage above using my controller, but I couldn't do that with the keyboard. I still can't do that with the keyboard. I haven't worked out how to do that yet. And it feels unfinished. I think unfinished is the word I would use. It doesn't feel complete, and it doesn't feel fun to play, and I can see people getting very frustrated with this, with the fact that there are zones on this, and the fact that you've got to do it in a very specific order in order for it to work. Now, I can see very clever people probably using the sides to bounce where you need to bounce, and that's kind of cool and all, but at the same time, it doesn't, again, it doesn't feel fun. I can see me playing this for hours upon hours and not getting anywhere. Alright, okay, so you press the up arrow, funnily enough, to see the next scene, so you know where you've got to go. I think that if they could at least allow you to change positions, right? If you could just tap your arrow keys in the direction you want it to do, instead of having to jump in that direction to get it to face the way you want it to go, that would at least make this game a lot more malleable. It would mean that you'd have a lot more control. It wouldn't feel as finicky and as nightmarish to try and do. I see what they're trying to do with this game. I appreciate what they're trying to do with this game. It's an interesting and unique idea for a platformer. However, in practicality, in functionality, in actual practice, it doesn't work. And that's a shame. So, with that said, don't forget to subscribe to this video, guys. Let me know what you think in those comments down below, and I shall see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.